on, Bears fans? Another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. Pat the Designer, Jason McKie back at it again. J Mack, we got another game coming up after you were on the sidelines for one of the most exhilarating games outside of maybe like Devin running it back in the Super Bowl in Bears history. Like, I'm like, bro, like that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. What was it like being there in person?
I hit that Eddie Murphy from Coming to America. I'm very happy to be here. Put it in the face. Like, it was awesome, man. Like, it was, it was an emotional roller coaster because the first half, you know, we're all sick. We're talking about the game. I got the mic like this. I'm pissed off. Like, I'm mad as I don't know what. I said, I cannot believe they're playing like this. No energy. We're going to have to hear these damn Packers fans all off season. Like, yep. Every catch they make. I mean, Romeo Dobbs is catching the ball on the sideline right in front of me. I wanted to trip him. I wanted to go out there and hit him. I was pissed, Pat.
Don't Tomlin him. Don't Tomlin him.
I was so mad, man. And then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, coming at the half, I asked Coach Johnson, I said, what do you got to do to get back in this game? That was my question to him at the half, because there's no other question you could talk, you could ask him. Like, he says, one play at a time. And I said, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's obvious. Coach speak, one play at a time. We ain't even seen that. We haven't seen it. We ain't seen a play all half. Can we get one play? Damn, not at it, just one play. And then they start executing, right? The defense transforms. They only give up 6 points at the half. You had some things go your way with the missed field goal, missed extra point. And offensively, we saw they started executing and generating big plays. And guys, came up big, obviously, like they've done, 6 times before this 7th time. On before this 7th time. So yeah, it was a sight to see, and shout out to the Bears fans. I mean, it was an amazing environment. I mean, everybody was in full effect. Those white towels were waving, even after the game, when the game was over. When most of the guys went in the locker room and some of the guys stayed out there, the fans were still there. They didn't want to leave Soldier Field, and that's a credit to the Bears fans. The fourth phase, bringing that energy, bringing that noise. Which brought some trouble to the Green Bay Packers down the stretch. You look at the delay of game penalty they had coming out of a timeout in a critical situation. That's because of the fans. So, yes, the fans, you guys do make a difference. And I'm looking forward to y'all taking it up another level on Sunday night.
You got to take it up another level. This episode brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. J Mack, you played a lot of football in that stadium. Of course, you've watched a lot of football since then. Have you ever seen a crowd like that? Have you ever been a part of a game where the crowd was like that? Because me watching it, I literally went, I don't think there's a coach in this NFL that has experienced the Bears crowd that rabid as what Matt LaFleur had to deal with. And it seemed like it flustered him. Timeout, or doesn't get the play call in time. Timeout, play still not set right, delay a game.
Yeah, it was, it was awesome to have those fans and, the impact that they made on the game. You hear your players talk about it, right? How important the fans are, bringing that energy, bring the fourth phase. But, it was awesome to see. And they really had an effect on that Packers team. And when you have that, and you got to give the fans something to cheer about. So it was awesome to see the Bears, flip the switch in the second half. And it was a sight to see, man. So I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the fans that came out. We deserve this. I say we because I'm a fan now too. You're a fan, Pat. We're mega fans. We just get to cover the game now. And I'm a former player, but I'm still a fan. And it's just exciting that the Bears are in this situation, man. And just think about it, Pat. A couple more games, you're Super Bowl champs. And I don't want to get too far ahead, but that's the reality. But you got to get this one Sunday night.
You found a way to win one. You got to find a way to win another one. Of course, we got to talk about that game as well. J Mack, listen, as good as that Packers offense was, and I like the fact that the defense showed up in the second half, was able to stop it. This is probably the best opponent the Chicago Bears have played, if we're being honest, all season. Now, you do get a nice mix back here defensively with CJ coming back. Possibly, I would assume he's been full 2 days in a row, hopefully with no setback. You're going to have CJ and Kyler Gordon on the field for the first time together since that Philly game, where the defense looked pretty good. And dare I say, it looked like the most physical defense we've seen all season from this team. what's going to be the Bears' pathway to victory versus this Rams team? Is there something that has to happen? Because here's the thing. We could give you all the football stuff, J Mack. I think you said it before. I've never seen a team like this. All the football logical stuff doesn't apply at times.
Yeah, defensively, you want to see all of the second half Bears defense against the Rams.
The entire game.
I don't want to see that first half defense game over. We're talking about the offseason.
Or is it?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Hopefully they but yeah, I think having CJ back, Kyler back, two guys that are really good at blitzing, right? They can do a lot of things. We've seen CJ have a huge impact in games. We've seen with Kyler's, his ability to be able to do a lot of things, in terms of getting pressure on the quarterback in the run game. Yes, he struggled last week in coverage because he's still not 100%.
Getting himself ready.
But, having both of those guys, in the lineup, I don't know. I think if we sit here and say Bears got to get pressure with 4, we haven't done that consistently. I don't think that's going to happen. We had 1 sack last week. And Matt Stafford's a quarterback, a veteran guy who's seen a lot of things. He's very good against the blitz. So I think you're going to have to, you're going to have to bring secondary pressure. You're going to have to, bring some linebackers. I don't think there's anything you do to confuse them, but you got to get home. You got to hit them. You got to get them on the ground. You got to get them dirty. And you really, with the receiving core he has, and we haven't even really gotten into that, but when you have a Devontae Adams, when you have a Puka Nacua, when you have a Kobe Parkinson, right, we're overshadowing the impact that he had. He pretty much had the game-winning touchdown against the Carolina Panthers to propel the Rams in this to propel that win.
Yeah,
you got to disrupt the timing of these receivers. You got to disrupt the timing of this offense. And, Sean McVay and that staff does a great job offensively, being the number 1 offense in terms of points per game, yardage per game. He does a great job of putting things together, right? And we always talk about this, right? Marrying the run and pass. Well, nobody does it better than Sean McVay in terms of the condensed formations. Why condensed formations? Okay, condensed formations, it gives you extra gaps in the run game. But here's the thing. In the passing game, it also gives your receivers more access to run those out-breaking routes, right? Yeah. It gives them more access to be able to do those things. And with McVay, the creativity and him being able to do those things, and Matt Stafford being elite at play action passes, right? He majority of the time he's under center. It's very tough for a defense because you're seeing a lot of things, but then you're also seeing the same things. And those same things, when you think you know a lot, when you think you know something, you don't know it all, because next thing you know, that ball's over your head because you think it's a run and it's a play action pass. And this is a team that can obviously generate a ton of explosive plays because of the creativity of their head coach and their offensive staff, but also the ability of the playmakers they have on offense.
I feel like this is going to be a big game where, and we've said this just about every single week. I feel like this is going to be a big game where you got to find a way to get your running backs going early, especially with Theo Benedict going out there at left tackle. I would love to see this offensive line starting off going forward, not giving ground versus Jared Verse, right? Excuse me. Did you ever have a stretch like this where it's like the run game is technically working, but we're not utilizing it enough? I mean, you get DeAndre Swift, 4.2 yards per carry. Kyle Monangai end up with 3.4 yards per carry. He got a little bit bottled up. So you're seeing these moments where it works, but it's not being consistent enough throughout the entire game. And really, I feel like Ben Johnson's maybe not going to it enough in certain moments. That 4th and 1 on the goal line, man, I'm confused why we're not running the football there. Like, it feels like there's a combination of coaching a little bit, and even some with the player, where it's like you're not seeing what you need to see in that run game. But then, right when it gets going, all of a sudden it clicks.
Yeah, and I think the run game is something that you got to keep hammering away at. And, it may not be successful, but you got to put in that time with the running game, because what happens with the run game? You start wearing a defense down, and you got to keep a defense honest, and it's going to set up what you want to do in terms of generating explosives in the passing game. So, the run game may not be clicking like it wasn't the first half of that game against the Packers, but you got to commit to it. You got to, and you'll wear a defense down, and then you yield the results from it. So, when you have guys, I think Kyle and DeAndre have averaged over 4 yards a carry throughout the season as a whole. I got to go back and check that stat, but I think they have. And when you just got to have that commitment to the run game. And, hopefully the Bears with the weather, you're trying to keep that Rams offense on the sideline and especially against a really good defensive front like the Rams that, showed the ability to get after the quarterback as well. You want to take the steam off that pass rush by having an adequate run game, but the run game only works if all the guys are doing their job, and we've seen that throughout this season, right? When guys are executing, when guys are getting physical, when this offensive line is displacing the line of scrimmage and these backs are running with physicality, that run game is something that's very hard to deal with. So if we get that going, right, and then you're able to tie in the play action passes, the movement passes that we like to, generate explosive passes off of, the Rams defense could be in for a long day, because we know that defensive front of the Rams is really good, but the secondary has been struggling as of late.
And banged up.
Yeah.
Kyle Monangai 4.6, DeAndre Swift 4.9, second highest of DeAndre Swift's career on that. Of course, Kyle Monangai, rookie, so highest of his career. Heck of a start to that young man's career. But we've seen it. What do you feel is the issue, J Mack? Because me and you were texting on that 4th and 1 where they go to a pass play. And like I get it, right? Like I get you're trying to make something happen. You're trying to catch them off guard. Right. You're expecting them to bite on the run. But you are a dominant rushing team. It just feels to me like it's tough to say it's on the running backs when DeAndre Swift gets 13 carries, Kyle Monangai gets 8 carries. You're not really giving them that opportunity like you were having before. Now, in the Packer game, I do understand it in the second half, right? You're down 21-3. You're throwing the football. That makes sense. But there were so many of those moments where it felt like you were like, this is a run the football moment. Why aren't we going to that here?
Yeah, and I don't know. That's I was.
And then they win the game.
And then they win the game. You say all those things. You say all those things and they win the game. And sometimes it's just a matter of, I love the fact that, hey, element of surprise. 4th and 1, they think they're loading the box. They're thinking pass. I mean, they're thinking run. We go pass. It doesn't yield the results, but sometimes who gives a damn? Sometimes, hey, we're running it, and we're letting you know we're running it, and our guys are going to kick your guys' ass. Point blank, period. Get the first down. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know why, these situations, come up. We've seen it come up time and time again throughout this season where, we're thinking 100% run, and all of a sudden you scratch your head. It's like, man, they threw the ball in that situation.
Yeah. And they get it. You know what I mean? They get it. Yeah. There's times where it's DJ Moore catching the ball for 10 yards. Is that the part where, and I love it. Listen, it's not a slight of Ben at all, but like, is that the part where chasing the explosive maybe blinds Ben a little bit? Because I feel like we see that so often where it's a 4th and 2, and you're like, all right, we're getting 6 yards a carry with DeAndre Swift. Obviously, you want to throw, and then you throw a 20-yard pass down the field. DJ Moore catches it, and it's an explosive play. You just go, or that.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's with the play caller. It's it's what he feels at that time, what he's seeing, emotionally, how he's feeling. The belief and confidence he has in his offensive line from a protection standpoint, the belief he has in his quarterback, and the belief he has in his receivers to go make that play. So, it's tough. I mean, it doesn't make sense at times, but it's working.
And then they win.
And
I don't know if you are a believer or not in this. You played in that building. You've seen some teams come in there and probably surprise you, but you also played in a very famous game where Michael Vick was dying on the sideline because of the weather. Is bear weather a real thing, and will it have an effect in this game?
Yeah, it definitely is a real thing. I mean, hell, it affects the Bears players. You know what I'm saying? It affected us. It affected us, man. We're not from Chicago or the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? But you got to deal with it. So the good thing is, obviously, the Bears, playing here, you're dealing with the weather every single day. You're being acclimated every single day to that weather, whether you're on the practice field or not, whether you're just around town, going about your day, you're still in the elements. And it does have an effect. And, I've been able to listen to some of the Rams press conferences, right? Sean McVay and those coordinators along with the players. And a lot of those reporters have been asking them about the weather, and they're trying to downplay it. And you hear Sean McVay say, hey, we're going to bring in some trucks on the field and shoot snow everywhere. And, we know what Matt Stafford's record is in terms of cold games. I think it's like 1-9, but and he's played in it, during his time in Detroit and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's going to have an effect, but they're still going to be, up, and they're going to be, offensively. It's going to slow them down a little bit, I think. But, they're still a team that I feel that we can't get away with playing a half of football this week. I think, we talk about starting fast and all these things as we have for the last, I don't know how many weeks. The Bears haven't done it and they've still won. But I think, it really sticks to the script this week in terms of, hey, you got to start fast because this Rams team is going to score some points. And our offense, we got to be able to execute and score some points. Defensively, I think this is our defense has to somehow come up with 2 takeaways. Matt Stafford has only 8 interceptions on the year, and he doesn't, turn that ball over. So, you've got to find a way. We got to find a way to gain an extra possession. Defensively, they got to be efficient in the red zone. When you look at the Rams against the Carolina Panthers last week, they were 3 out of 13, on third downs. So, get off the field, defense. Get off the field, right? You've given up a ton of yardage this year because you can't get off the field in third down. And the Rams are the #1 offense in terms of yardage per game. But if you are able to get off the field in third down, you limit those things. You give your offense a chance to have extra possessions because you're going to need it.
Yeah, you're going to need it. I've said, and Yurko talked about this as well, you got to find a way to steal a couple of possessions.
Yeah.
Because I think it is going to be a high-scoring affair. Listen, Matt Stafford is a problem out there. And J Mack, I guess quiet as is kept, right? The last time we started off fast versus a team that could put up points like how the Rams have, I'd say maybe is the Bengals game. And we finished slow. And
the 49ers too, right? The 49ers, we came out the gate.
49ers, the first 2 possessions, we end up going 3 and out, but we got the pick 6 to start the game.
You're
so
right. You're right. We started fast, correct.
But offensively, the team started slow in that one and then ended up picking it up. I mean, it was, the end of the first quarter when they end up scoring, I believe, their first touchdown in that game. But it truly, as crazy as it is to say, it does make me excited about this game. It does give me a sense of, I don't want to say confidence because I think this is going to be an incredibly difficult team to beat, but it gives me a sense of you have a real chance to be representing the NFC North in the NFC title game this year.
Yeah.
That how well this team finds a way to finish. And I don't think we're talking about, right, playing a perfect first half, J Mac. I think we're talking about, can you get 7 points on one drive, right? First drive of the game, you drive down there, you eat the clock versus the Packers, and you'll come away with 3. I don't think that you can have that scenario. I think, honestly, and I get it, it's playoff situation here, but if you get in that situation again, Ben Johnson might need to go for it in that sense. And he was willing to go for it on 4th down just because 7 is so important, especially versus a team like the Rams, because that they're going to be able to answer with 7.
Yeah, and I think when you see that, right, we talked about it, Pat. We were talking about, he went for it on 4th down a lot the first half, right? And we thought it was, because he had no confidence in his defense. But Ben Johnson came out and said, no, it's because I have confidence in our defense, but I have a lot of confidence in our offense to be able to convert on that 4th down situation. So, I think this game we're going to see a lot more of that continue because 7, you got to get 7. You will take 3, but at the same time, we're hunting for 7. At the end of the day, we need touchdowns, not field goals.
Hey, and J Mac, listen, I know Coach speak when I hear it, brother. I've listened to a lot of it here. You don't go for it on your own 30 if you got confidence in your defense. I don't care what you say, bro. Listen. Ben Johnson be beat. Hey. He's 100%. Hey. He's usually very upfront. He was capping. There's no way you go for it.
Pat, that's what Coach said. Coach Johnson said that. We with Coach. I stand with Coach. I stand with Coach with his comments after the game too. Yeah, Coach. Talk your talk, Coach.
How many times you went for it on your own 30 since you've been the head coach of Carmel?
I've had a couple times I've had to. I ain't gonna lie. I've had a couple times I've had to.
I won't ask the follow-up question on that. Hey, man, let's get into Underdog real quick, man, before we get into this next topic. We, of course, got to continue to talk about this game. What are we concerned about? We'll talk about that moving ahead. And what is the feel of this team?
Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets at UnderdogFantasy.com.
We got Luther Burden higher than 38.5 Courtney.
DFS_HTML higher than 98.5. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Crazy.
Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467.
What do you like today, J Mac? What are you feeling today?
I'm gonna match it Yurko's energy since he's all on Puka Nacua, and I'm gonna give him. I gotta go with our receiver. I'm going with the guy DJ Moore.
Okay,
big play Moore, anytime touchdown. DJ Moore. That's what I'm going with. I mean, he's been clutch, right? He's been clutch. Critical moments. Who's Caleb go to? DJ Moore. We saw it last game, right? Bears show a bunch formation. They fake the now screen to Luther Burden. DJ Moore runs a go route. Bang, touchdown for the go-ahead score. DJ Moore. That's what I'm going with, baby.
Go DJ. That my DJ. Hey, listen, Murder 101. Never mind. Let me get into it now. No, man. I love the DJ Moore pick. As far as we know, I mean, listen, J Mack, we know what this team is at this point. It's gonna be tied with 2 minutes to go. The Bears are gonna have the ball. They're gonna be driving. Hey. It's gonna come down to, does Jared Verse get Caleb Williams, or does Caleb Williams get Jared Verse? Hey. Like, we know how this is going to go.
as much as I like that script, as long as the Bears come out with a win, I'll take a Bears winning by 10. You know what I'm saying? Without the agony and anxiety and adrenaline, the ups and downs, and like after that game, then I woke up the next day and I felt like I had a hangover because the emotions, you're up and down, and had to rewatch the game about 3 times because I was still confused on how they won, even though I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, well, how did they win that game?
Yeah, listen, J Mac, you remember the day your car, the battery died at Hallis Hall, and you end up buying the battery chargers? Yeah, I had to go upstairs, get some of the wife's AED pads, and just hook that battery charger up, make sure the heart was still beating right, dog, because like, I'm sitting there like, bro, the prices of AEDs have to have skyrocketed in this Bears economy. Seeing how they have won some of these games, man, it is insane. It makes it harder to do this podcast, much more fun, but it makes it harder because you go, well, these are the football reasons this should work. And then you watch the team and you go, or that, you know what I mean? Or that, I'll take it. If it wins me a Super Bowl, or that. Hey, man, download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. It's promo code CBP. Underdog, make picks, win money. EOQ, the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Oh. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Welcome back into the Chicago Bears podcast. Today's episode also brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Find your next Chevy, Toyota, or Acura and drive off in under 60 minutes so they'll make your first car payment. And brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino in Northern Indiana. Las Vegas style gaming, just 30 minutes from Soldier Field. Exit 6, right off of I-80. 94. All right, J Mack. So we got pressure last week defensively. Let's get into the nitty gritty of trying to slow down a Matt Stafford. We got pressure last week defensively in the second half by sending the blitz. They blitzed 36% of the time, I believe, in that second half, and were able to get to Jordan Love, get pressure around Jordan Love, I should say. You didn't get to him a ton. You cannot blitz Matt Stafford. How is this defense going to slow him down at all? I mean, Matt Stafford's one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen versus the blitz. I would assume with CJ and Kyler, you're going to play a ton of dime, but dime only works for a few seconds, and we can't get pressure with 4.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think you're going to have to, take your chances of bringing, an extra guy, linebacker, bringing one of those guys, whether it's CJ or Kyler. We saw last week, he even brought the corners. He brought Jalen a little bit, to create some edge pressure. And you just got to hope you get there. And, hey, if you don't get the sack, get him on the ground, get his jersey dirty, hit him, to make him know, hey, we're still coming. And yeah, Matt Stafford's so, adept at beating the blitz, right? He's been so successful in facing pressure, but that's your only chance because you try to sit back in zone, he's going to pick you apart, right? You're going to play man coverage, and if you don't get home, he's still going to pick you apart. So I think, yeah, you got to do what you got to do to generate some type of pressure, because bringing 4, we've seen a lack of consistency in terms of us being able to do that throughout this entire year. I think we had 1 sack last week with Austin Booker. Montez Sweat had 3 quarterback pressures, and you would like to get the volume up with the quarterback pressures, right? Just not from Montez Sweat. We need somebody else to step up. It can't just be Montez. It can't be Austin, right? We got to be able, with Matt Stafford, you got to be able to dent the middle of that pocket. So you're calling on Javon Dexter. You're calling on Grady Jarrett. You're calling on Big Bill to not just be a factor in the passing game, but not in the run game, but he's got to be able to dent that pocket in the passing game as well. And you're going to have to bring some extra guys, second level pressure, right? Third level pressure with a safety, or even those corners like we saw last week, and hope that you get home. So yeah, it's you're facing an elite quarterback. You're facing, in my opinion, the NFL MVP, who's got a ton of weapons.
Yeah.
And we've talked about Puka. We talk about Devontae Adams. You can talk about Kobe Parkinson. But then you also have 2 adequate running backs, in Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, who do a lot of things in terms of running the ball effectively, but also can be factors in the passing game. And that's why this Rams offense is number 1 in the NFL. So you got to do what you got to do. You're going to have to come up with timely stops. You're going to have to try to get a takeaway, like we talked about, to give your offense another possession. And then offensively, you can't have field goals. You got to have touchdowns this game.
What do you want to see from Caleb Williams coming into this game? It seems like, the Iceman cometh all the time in that fourth quarter. I love the fact that we saw the passion from him early in the game. I thought that maybe you unlocked a little bit of something with Caleb going into that game. And you've been on the sidelines. It was the first time I saw him blow up in a first half that way. Maybe you've seen it at points this season, but that was, hey, if we don't get on our P's and Q's, we are going to get the doors blown off of us. I thought that even in the post-game locker room where he got the game ball, he knows good, better, best is going out to the world, calls the team out, himself included, in front of everybody, saying we need to be on the effing details. I thought you saw Caleb grow as a leader of this team, and that's going to help this team coming into this game. What do you want to see from Caleb going into this one?
Yeah, I want to see, obviously you look at that Rams front, and they're going to try to come after, Byron Young, a guy who a lot of people aren't talking about, which is confusing because he leads the team in sacks, and very good pass rusher, has a lot of pass rushing tools in his tool bag, combine that with Jared Verse. So, they're mainly a 3-4 team, but when they want to, they'll go a 4-2-5, and they'll put Jared Verse and Byron Young out there at defensive ends to get pressure on the quarterback. And, I want to see Caleb be Caleb, but also want to see Caleb play within structure, right? Can he work within the framework of a pocket? We know what he could do on the move. We saw that big 4th down play, conversion play that he had to Rome that really, help them extend the drive to win the game. We know he can make those plays, and we know he can make plays within the structure of an offense in the pocket. But I want to see more of that consistently, right? I want to see Caleb, take what the defense gives him. So whether that be a check down, or a hitch to Colston Loveland, things of that nature. Him just operating and putting together drives, because I think the more that this offense is on the field, the better chances the Bears have to win, because you keep the Rams offense on the bench. Yeah. Let them sit on the bench and get cold. Turn those heaters off on their sideline as well.
No, J Mack, they didn't drive you around, J Mack.
I don't care. I don't care. Turn them off. Turn them off, man. But time of possession, I think, putting together adequate drives, like Caleb said, locking in on the details, one play at a time, but keeping this offense on the field, it'll take that Rams offense out of rhythm, but it'll also keep them on the sideline. So I think, Caleb being Caleb and leading his offense that way, in terms of, the Bears having a chance in this game.
Is this a game where you think you could see Ben Johnson, trying to use Caleb's legs more, trying to stretch that defense out? And the run game hasn't picked up. That has been something that has supplemented this run game, while it has struggled at times, where you're dropping back and Caleb Williams takes off. I think he is, 6 players. I gotta look at this stat again to refresh my memory. I think 6 players have reached 21 miles an hour, or 6 plays the quarterback has run, or what is it? No, I'm tweaking. 6 plays this season, a player has reached 21 miles per hour. Caleb Williams, I believe, is 4 of them. He's got the speed. He can use the legs. Is that a game plan that works versus the Rams?
Yeah, I think so. Having the quarterback, anytime you have any design quarterback runs, it presents a challenge to the defense, because it gives you a +1, right? It gives you that quarterback is your +1. So, yeah, you can try to spy a linebacker on him, but Caleb, like you said, he's so athletic. But the main thing I like about Caleb when he's running with the ball, he's smart. He's not going to take an unnecessary hit. He's going to get down. Now, situationally, he has to realize, hey, there's situationally, if there's a critical first down, I got to take that hit to get the first down. Or is it touchdown? I've got to, maybe run over somebody to get that touchdown, right? So that's any smart at doing that. So having Caleb, be effective in the quarterback run zone, whether the run game, whether it's read zone or anything like that, will be effective in terms of extending drives. And it's a backbreaker for the defense. Like, there's nothing like a defense. You get all the way to third down, then you got everything covered, and bam, the quarterback scrambles for 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, first down, extends a drive. Like, that wears the defense down. So I expect Ben Johnson and this entire offensive staff to pull out all the tricks. I think we'll see a couple trick plays, a couple wrinkles. Hell, we even saw who was it out there? Theo Benedict running routes.
Theo Benedict, hey, he got some speed on him too, didn't he?
I expect to see everything, man. There ain't no tomorrow. You're at home with a chance to go to the NFC Championship game. So expect the unexpected, like we have, like we have throughout this entire season.
Throughout the entire season, I think that's the funny part about this. Is it's just, I mean, listen, we can get to our McKeys to the game here, but I guess let's do it, right?
I'll tell you,
it's time for our McKeys to the game.
Hey, McKeys,
J Mack, how you gonna diagnose this football?
McKeys to the game. What that say? It says McKeys to the game. Just win.
Just win.
Just win. I mean, every time I break down keys on what I think is the recipe for success for this Bears team, they got to do this. They got to score in the red zone. They got to operate efficiently on both sides of the ball on third down. They got to get pressure with 4. Blah, blah, blah. We say all that stuff every week. They don't do it, and they still win. So McKeys to the game is just win the damn game. That's it. That's all I got. That's it.
Hey, legitimately, I think your key to the game last year was be efficient in the red zone. 1 for 5. We're still talking about the playoffs.
Right.
How you got to change this 1 for 5 and we still talking about winning in the playoffs?
Win the game. That's all I got, man. This team.
The one thing I will say is, though, this does feel like a game where, and maybe this is just respect to the Rams, and maybe, I mean, I've never seen a team like this, J Mack. Maybe a lack of belief that you can continue to do this week in and week out, even though they continue to prove that. So maybe that's more on us than it is on them. But it does feel like if you go 1 for 5 in the red zone, you're not going to win this game. It does feel like if you are struggling in the first half on third down and you're not converting those and keeping drives going, you're going to struggle to win this game because, like I said at the start of this is the best football team that we have played the entire season. While they do have their flaws, I think that defensively, right, I think Caleb's going to have a big day because the DBs are in shambles right now, and they have allowed, over the last 7 weeks, they've allowed, I believe, 27.3 points per game. Like they have struggled to stop teams from scoring. It is not the same defense that it was at the beginning of the season here in the second half, but that doesn't mean that they can't turn back into what we saw early in the season, just like at times the Bears turn into the team that we see in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you say all that, and they still win the game. So I got nothing. Just win the game. I got nothing. I don't care.
Have you ever? Do you remember a team like this? Do you remember playing against a team like this where it was just like, I can't believe that they continue to win like this?
Not 7 times in the season, no. At all. Like I've never, and I've been, the funny thing is, like, I've been there for every one of them. And it's just like, man, like, here it is again. And the guys don't blink. That belief is ingrained in them. That mindset, right? It's permeated that locker room. It's permeated the coaching staff. And I don't care how many, I mean, you look at it now, like Bears fans and us as analysts, like, we're programmed now. A minute left, the Bears should be down by 14, and we're like, man, they still got a chance.
They still got a chance. So, literally, I tweeted out at halftime, and it was a little tongue in cheek, but like, it also was kind of like, this probably is going to happen. It was 21-3, and I was like, got them right where we want them. We down 3 scores, baby. Here we come. I mean, the second he missed that kick, my next tweet was, we got life.
Yeah, we got a former players group chat. And, we're texting during the game. It's halftime. And, some of the guys, myself, we're like, man, call the Pope. Call the Pope. It might be done. It might be done. And shout out to our guy, Adrian Peterson. He's like, they got a chance, right? And I'm like, call the Pope, man. I think our luck has runneth out of. We run out of luck. You know what I'm saying, Pat? And he's just like, we got a chance. We got a chance. And by the end of the game, we're all texting, we got a chance. We got a chance.
We got a chance.
So shout out to AP, man, for our former running back, Adrian Peterson, who, is always believed. He instilled a belief in us, even though we're retired. He instilled a belief in our locker room, our group chat locker room, that the Bears are going to win the game, and they did.
It's so wild. I mean, like, we haven't seen something like that. The fourth quarter comebacks, Peyton Manning did it, right? In 2009, he did 6. Caleb, I don't know how playoffs counts in that because his 6 were in the regular season. So technically he has 7 this year. So he kind of broke Manning's record, but he tied Manning's regular season record either way. Yeah. I don't remember it feeling like this, though. Yeah. It did feel like you can't count the Patriots out, or I'm sorry, the Colts out. But it didn't feel like, hey, they're down 70 points and somehow they're going to find a way to get back in this game in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misremember, but it was what this Bears team is doing is absolutely different. And I ask you this to finish it out here, J Mack. If they find a way to win, of course, if they lose, right, I think most Bears fans will go, heck of a first season.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Tip your cap to them.
Heck yeah.
Go out there and compete. This was fun. Find a way to fix the defense, and we're trying to get back in this thing next year.
Yeah.
If they win, what is the storyline on this team? Is it you're about to become one of the dynasties of the NFL? Is it like I feel like it's truly now you're in this position to go to the Super Bowl, and maybe Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy stand in your way of that. But you have the team that has, to me, the most firepower, dare I say, that could possibly win the Super Bowl if you win this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think, with all these teams, right, the awesome thing about it this year, it's teams who all have a chance. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're seeing Kansas City and
Sam Darnold might go to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what's the beautiful thing. It's awesome to see, like, the parity in the league. We've seen a lot of teams go from worst to first this year. You know what I'm saying? We got the Bears in the playoffs. Like, it's awesome right now for the NFL in its entirety, and especially for the Bears. So, yeah, the Bears have a good shot as of anybody, especially if they win this game. I still like, I like our chances better against the 49ers at Soldier Field. So I'm rooting for the 49ers.
Yeah.
But if,
George Kittle, though.
But, hey, when we win, and if the Seattle Seahawks win, and we got to go out there, Seattle, it's going to be a tough place to play. But with the no quit, the fight, the belief that this team has shown you throughout the entire season, it's tough to say the Bears don't stand a chance, because they stand a chance in every game.
What's your confidence level that the Bears win this game? Are you above 50% on this, or are you kind of just like 48 and a half?
I'm above. That's a good question. The Bears are going to win. I just
give me a number, J Mack. I didn't ask you for a score prediction.
So the Bears are gonna win. I'm gonna say, man, you know what? Soldier Field's gonna be rocking. Yeah, our guys are gonna be pumped up. They know they didn't play well last week. Ben Johnson's gonna be fired up. Everybody's gonna be fired. I'm gonna be fired up. I might get me a little helmet out there. Go out there a little bit and give me a player or two, sneak out on the field, get me a player. I'm going to go 65%.
Okay.
That's why I feel the Bears are going to win. It may be by 1, it may be by 3, it may be the last second of the game, but the Bears are going to win, and I can't wait to see it. The city's going to be rocking. I don't want the city's going to be on fire in a good way, not on fire, but everybody's going to be excited.
The snow will stop that.
So yeah, I say, man, Bears are going to win for sure, man, and they're going to be headed to the NFC Championship game. First time since what? 2006. No.
First time since 10.
2010. Yes.
Yeah. Jay Cutler went. Got inexplicably hurt.
Yeah.
A lot of questions on.
We're going back though. We're going back Sunday night.
Let's do it.
We're going back.
I would love to see this team in the NFC, because it truly is. You got a great shot to go to the Super Bowl this year. Yeah, 40 years awesome, after the last time the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, you could be playing in another Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
That'd be a little destiny. And you know what? Look, it's getting weird, dog. Like, I don't know what everybody believes in. You got the Pope, Miss Virginia passing. It's getting weird. there's a lot of push behind this team that doesn't really make sense. It's starting to feel like angels in the outfield, J Mack.
It's a beautiful
you gotta
thing.
go up and make a catch. Get over there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'm excited. So, Bears fans, come out in full effect. Get them towels waving. Do what you got to do to bring that fourth phase of energy, and get ready for a Bears win. It's going to be exciting. Bear down. Let's get it.
Somebody got to get video of J Mack on the sideline, because I know he's out there with a towel himself, just like doing mid. Yeah, Jeff, I hear everything you're saying, Jeff. Let's go.
Last time I was talking trash to Richard Sherman.
I saw that. I saw you talking trash.
I said we didn't transform Seattle Seahawks into Bears fans. He was like, I was like, yeah, you see that video? He's like, I got it. I was like, yeah, you're a Bears fan now.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Make sure to stay tapped in with everything J Mack has going on. Stay tapped in here with us on the Chicago Bears podcast. Or Jason McKie, your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.